Who determines what blasphemy is? Why should we have blasphemy laws in Nigeria? I'm a Muslim. And there are injunctions that are for me alone as a believer. It doesn't concern somebody who is not a believer. Even in the Quran, there are places where God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is saying, oh, you who believe. For those who do not believe, it doesn't concern them. And that's why they say there's no compulsion in religion. So a situation whereby Nigeria is a secular state, we have different religions in Nigeria. We have Islam, we have Christianity, there are people who practice Judaism, there are people who do not even believe in God, there are people who practice the traditional religion. So how do we determine, how does the state determine what blasphemy is? How does the state determine what blasphemy is? And a situation whereby someone has said something that is against my religion or against what I believe in, against God or against the prophets that we believe in, for me, yes, I'll feel hurt, I will feel pained. But that's for the person does not believe. The person is among those who do not believe. Just like for somebody else's religion, there are certain things that the person, I might say that will hurt the person, but the person, I do not believe, I do not subscribe to that belief, and so it should be. I don't get this. I just don't get it. When people are so riled up, when people want to kill, when people want to exhibit their murderous tendencies, when people want to, we've been breeding serial killers, people that have been killing and getting away with it, and they are giving birth to other children who are also now killing and getting away with it. The first time I knew of all of this religious killing was in 1990. I was in Form 5. Yeah, I was in Form 5, the SS2. And this is that 1990 to now. We are talking about 32 years later. These killings are still going on. Who determines what blasphemy is? I, as a Muslim, I do not believe that Prophet Isa is the son of God. I believe that he's a prophet of God. I believe that Maryam, is his mother. But there are people who believe that he's the son of God. So when I say, in my belief, in my own injunction, he's a prophet, and I say he's a prophet, that is blasphemy to the person who believes that he's the son of God. I do not subscribe to that, but that's what somebody else's belief. And so if you're going to have blasphemy law, then I for not believing and uttering that, Prophet Isa alayhi salam is a prophet and not the son of God and not God, then somebody is taking me to court to prosecute me, or somebody will not just come out and stone me and kill me and shoot me or whatever. How do we get to these places? These are things that must not be allowed, and the state must not continue to condone these things. When people just come out, you put, the child that has been on the street that have killed, the teenager that have been on the street that have killed, that are being supported by so many people, by so many Muslims out there, that feel that shedding of blood is the way that they are going to show their love for the prophet. You think that child has not gotten a taste of killing? You think that child is not going to kill again? Do we know the effect of that? The state is watching. The state is using kids' glove. If you look at the statement that came out from the presidency, go through the statement and see. There was no place where this act, we're talking about punishing the people who have done this act, but just simply glossing over the word, just giving a slap on the wrist and saying to them, okay, you shouldn't have done it this way. You should have waited to do it that way. Nobody has the right to take any other person's life. Anybody taking any other person's life, it's murder. It is murder. It is pure and applied murder. The way I revere the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way I hold him dear, the way I love him, the way he's so precious to me and to all Muslims, the way we take him above all human beings. It's not the way another person is taking him. It's not the way. And I'm not going to impose my own injunction, my own religious injunction on that person, because that person also is not imposing their own religious injunction on me. Nobody is going to tell me to come and believe that, thunder. There are people who worship thunder. And to tell me that I should worship thunder, I don't worship thunder. And I say to them, thunder is not a deity, thunder is not God, but to them, thunder is their God. Then for them, I have done blasphemy and I should be prosecuted. If we can't have this hypocrisy where we are giving some people certain rights and we are denying other people certain rights. If there's going to be a law of blasphemy in Nigeria, then all of us should all be prosecuted. I should be prosecuted because I do not believe that Prophet Isa is the Son of God. He's a prophet. To me, then for somebody who believes that is the Son of God, then that person should come and prosecute me. Then for me, I do not believe that thunder is God or something that is molded, is God. Then those people should come and also prosecute me, because to them that's blasphemy. Because they believe that thunder it's either a deity or something, it's a god. They believe that there are certain statues that they believe they are either gods or something like that. Then they will say it's blasphemy, because there should be freedom of religion. If you can't give one person upper hand and deny another person that upper hand, we cannot continue to live like this in this country. We cannot continue to live that the way we have not respected the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have not followed the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have not done the things that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we should do. If we have done all of these things, then guess what? People, you don't even need to tell anybody to respect the Prophet. Even people who have never heard of the Prophet, or people who have not asked, what is going on? Why are you doing this? Or why are you planting trees? Look at Sokoto, for example. You see trees being planted all over the place. You visit Sokoto for the first time and you're like, oh wow, you have trees. Why are you planting these trees? And then you say, oh, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we should plant trees. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about tree planting right before people knew what climate change was all about. But we've never done any of those things. But it's to kill in the name of the Prophet. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't ask anybody to kill him. He didn't kill anybody for insulting him. People who insulted him, even when he did not see them, he looked out for them. His uncle, who did everything he could to come at him, to insult him, to attack him, to say all sorts of things, his wife pouring things on them. It was Quran it was a verse that came out, Surah Al-Lahab. The hands of Abu Lahab shall perish, and also he himself. His riches shall not profit him, nor that which he has gained. He shall be burnt in a flaming fire, and his wife, the wood carrier, shall have a rope of fiber around her neck. That's what that chapter of the Quran says. He didn't come after him. For the person who used to come and pour dirt on his door every day, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't see that person, didn't ask where was that person, they said the person was sick. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to visit that person. That is the love and compassion that we have. We have people today who are not looking after children. Children are all over the streets. You go to Sokoto today, you see children begging. Children have been left out. Children have been thrown out. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to us that we should have mercy on our children. We should love our children. We should care for our children. We should not abandon our children. We should show them love. The first right of a child is, even before that child is born, that you should get a good parent for that child. The next thing, give your child a good name. Give your child education. But we have not done all of these things. Aren't we the ones who are disrespecting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by not doing the things we should do? You find out amongst those people who went out to kill this girl. Ask them, some of them, I won't be surprised, some of them haven't even prayed in days. Then they come out, they're shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ask them, what's the meaning of Allahu Akbar? How many of them can tell you the meaning of Allahu Akbar? When people come, their murderous tendencies, they want to show you, they want to shed blood. Blood-sucking people, blood-shedding people. Then they put it on religion and they just come out and they use religion. And we have a government that is supporting and not prosecuting. And instead of the prosecution to be done the right way, what do you have? You're being told that, oh, public news. And no, this is not public news, and this is murder. This is murder. There are people who believe that cows are deity. I eat cow. They don't eat cow. So if I eat cow, I say, no, cow is just for food for me and this thing. And then it now becomes what? Oh, I've done blasphemy? We have to stop this. We have to stop this. We are the ones that should live the life that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have said we should live. If we live those lives, there will be harmony in our country. There will be harmony in our community. There will be abundance in our community. We will not have children being thrown away. The orphan. How many of us are taking care of orphans? Orphans are being left all over the place. Orphans are being thrown away. Orphans are not being looked after. How many of us are looking after orphans? How many of us are looking after widows? Even some people are eating the property, the belongings of orphans. Something that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have said that it's like you're eating raw fire. If I can remember correctly, there's a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I think, is saying that the person who looks after an orphan, he will be like this on the day of judgment. I might be wrong on that, please correct me. For every day we are learning. Yet we haven't done any of those things. But it's to come out and kill and maim. To come out. What did she say? Who is she that is matter that she said something about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You are saying that, oh, Tawlak and Ta'anabi. Tawlak, what is that Tawlak and Ta'anabi? Because I'm telling you, Anabi Bakina. If at any time that anybody says anything about the Prophet, the honor should be on us. Because if we have lived the examples of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he laid out for us, that he told us to do, we won't be here. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to us that when you cook and the fragrance of the food that you have cooked have gone to the nest, and then you owe that person, the person has a right on you to taste that food. That's the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You're talking about human rights today. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam started on issue of human rights, women's rights. I mean, some people are coming out to insult and say, oh, you're doing this because you're doing it for somebody, you're doing it for human rights. No, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about human rights. He taught us to respect. He said we should be the kind of people that others will feel safe with us. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that our faith is not complete until we love for another what we love for ourselves. But people with murderous tendencies will stand up and use that murderous tendencies and you take it as if, oh, that is Islam. That is not Islam. How many times are you people paying child support? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that child support should be paid for a boy until he gets finished school and gets a job. For a girl until she gets married. How many of you are paying child support? You divorce your wives, you throw them away, you throw the children away, they roam in the streets, they're all over the place, and you're asking for respect. You are the one that hasn't respected the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And for any time anybody says anything denigrated about the Prophet, the honors on us, because we have not lived the life, the examples the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given to us. And we should check ourselves.